The gentle tale of Procne and Philomela. In the heart of ancient Greece, where gods watched from Olympus and mortals lived in the light of myth, there were stories told not just for amusement, but for reflection. Myths carried lessons about life, justice, love, and sorrow. Among them was the story of Procne and Philomela, two sisters whose voices would echo through time, not through vengeance or destruction, but through transformation and song. Chapter 1. The Sisters of Athens. In Athens, the city of wisdom and democracy, King Pandion ruled with dignity and care. He had two daughters who were beloved by the people. Procne, the elder, possessed a beauty that poets compared to the dawn. Yet it was not only her appearance that drew admiration. Her gentle spirit and sense of duty made her respected by nobles and common folk alike. Her younger sister, Philomela, carried a different gift. Her voice was said to be touched by the divine. When she sang, it was as if the air itself paused to listen. Birds would fall silent, the wind would soften, and even the busy hum of Athens would quiet to hear her melodies. To hear Philomela sing was to be reminded of all that was pure and hopeful in the world. The bond between the sisters was unshakable. They would walk together in the palace gardens, share secrets under the olive trees, and laugh together in the quiet of night. Though different in temperament, Procne thoughtful and serene, Philomela lively and expressive, they were two halves of the same soul. Chapter 2. The Marriage of Procne. As daughters of a king, the sisters' lives were shaped not only by affection, but also by alliances. One day, news arrived that Tereus, king of Thrace, sought Procne's hand in marriage. Thrace was a rugged land to the north, known for its wild forests and powerful people. For King Pandion, this marriage was more than a union of hearts. It was a bond of peace and strength between two kingdoms. Procne, devoted to her father and her duty, accepted the match with grace, though her heart ached at the thought of leaving her sister. The wedding was celebrated with grandeur. Bright torches lit the Athenian night, garlands of flowers hung in the palace, and musicians played songs that filled the air with joy. Yet amid the splendor, the two sisters clung to one another, whispering promises never to let distance break their bond. When Procne departed with Tereus for Thrace, she looked back many times, watching Philomela wave until the distance blurred her figure into the horizon. Chapter 3. Longing for home life in Thrace was different from the gentle rhythms of Athens. The land was rough, the winters harsher, and the customs unfamiliar. Procne became queen and soon bore a son, Eetus. Though she cared for him tenderly, her heart remained heavy with longing. She missed her sister, her companion, her mirror of joy. Years passed, and the absence grew unbearable. Procne pleaded with her husband, "Let Philomela come to Thrace, if only for a season. My heart longs for her company, for the warmth of family." Tereus agreed, and soon a message was sent to Athens. Chapter 4. The Silence of Philomela. Philomela was overjoyed to hear she would see her sister again. She prepared eagerly for the journey, bringing gifts and songs to share. But when she arrived in Thrace, something unexpected happened. Instead of being welcomed into Procne's arms, she found herself kept apart, her voice stilled, her freedom limited. Why this happened? The myths never say clearly. Some whisper it was envy, others say it was fear. But what matters is that Philomela's songs no longer filled the halls. She, who once charmed the world with her voice, was silenced. Chapter 5. The Weaving of Truth. Philomela, however, was not one to surrender to despair. Though her voice could no longer carry her story, her hands found another path. She took up the loom and threads of many colors. Patiently, with the precision of an artist and the courage of a survivor, she wove images into the fabric. Each thread spoke where words could not. Patterns formed into symbols, symbols into stories. A tapestry emerged, a message woven in silence, a testimony no lock or barrier could suppress. When the tapestry was complete, Philomela entrusted it to a messenger with instructions to deliver it to the queen. Chapter 6. The Reunion. When Procne received the tapestry, she unrolled it slowly. At first she admired the beauty of the colors and the skill of the weaving, but as she studied it, she began to understand the story it told. Her heart tightened as realization dawned. Her sister, whom she had thought distant but safe, was near and suffering. Without hesitation, Procne set out to find her. Guided by the tapestry's message and her unbreakable bond, she reached the place where Philomela was hidden. Their reunion was one of tears and embraces, sorrow and joy mingled together. In each other's arms they found strength. Words were unnecessary. Their silence was filled with meaning, their bond deeper than ever. Chapter 7. The Prayer for Transformation. The sisters, united again, turned their hearts toward the heavens. "O gods," they prayed, "lift us from sorrow, free us from silence, and give us voices anew." The gods, who had watched their suffering, were moved. They saw not anger or vengeance in the sisters' hearts, but a longing to be free, to be whole, to be heard. And so, they granted the sisters a gift beyond mortal imagination. Chapter 8. The Song of the Birds. Procne was transformed into a swallow, swift and graceful, a bird whose flight carried her always forward, as if searching for her home. Philomela became a nightingale, and to her was restored the voice that had once been silenced. From her beak poured the most beautiful song the night had ever known, a melody both sorrowful and sweet, a voice of eternal remembrance. Even Tereus, whose choices had brought shadows to their lives, was transformed into a bird. In this way, the story was completed, and no further harm could be done. From that day forward, the nightingale's song filled the darkness with beauty. It became a symbol of resilience, of how creativity and spirit can triumph over silence. The swallow darted across skies, a reminder of bonds unbroken by distance. Together their flight and song told the world, no voice can be silenced forever, no truth erased. Chapter 9. The Eternal Lesson. Through centuries, poets, musicians, and storytellers retold the tale. Some emphasized sorrow, others transformation, but all agreed. The story of Procne and Philomela was not only about loss, but about endurance and renewal. To hear a nightingale today is to hear Philomela's voice, restored by the gods, carried over thousands of years. It is a song of hope, of remembrance, and of love that cannot be broken. And so, in the gentle telling of this myth, we remember that even in silence, there is a way to speak. Even in sorrow, there can be beauty. And even in endings, there can be transformation.